Thank you very much. As indicated yesterday, that we would keep you updated of Comrade Mpho's condition. He is still critical. There hasn't been much change since our last communication with yourselves. We have spoken to the doctors, and they are still trying their best, and at this stage there hasn't been any improvement, as I indicated. He is critical, but he's stable as we speak.
Perhaps maybe just to get in there, yesterday when you were giving us a briefing, Mr. Maile, there were rumors that you wanted to dispel. Just take us through if at this particular stage you had managed to get to the bottom of to how those rumors went out to the public that the former mayor was no more.
You know, at this point, I should point a finger at you guys, the journalists, and your sources inside the hospital. In fact, some of the journalists have said to me, our source said 1, 2, 3 in the hospital. So unfortunately, I think there has been unprofessionalism on the part of the hospital staff, because our suspicion is that they are the source of the Roma, and they speak to journalists, and that's how the Roma spread. That's the only source that we can think of at the moment.
And as a family, will you be looking perhaps to take action about that? Because now you're saying it could be very well that the hospital staff may have disregarded the patient and doctor privacy.
Our concern right now is Mpho's well-being, and we focus all our energy on supporting him to get well. We haven't thought of such as yet.
Samkele yesterday asked a very pertinent question that you also answered briefly at the time, and I think it is also important to talk about. The regional conference is coming next week. As far as yourselves, as the regional executive or the lobby group that is looking for that particular regional executive and contesting, what is the mood like, and perhaps give us an indication as to a way forward for the lobby group?
Can I just come in there that Mr. Maile is representing the family. He's not talking about the organization. He's talking about the position of the family on the matter at hand, which is the recovering of Mr. Moerane. So may I ask that we defer that question to the right platform? Thank you.
Mr. Maile, just how is the former mayor as we speak right now? Have you had an opportunity to engage with him? How is the family feeling, particularly during this difficult period? And what are some of the conditions or some of what he's battling with that you can take the residents of Johannesburg and South Africans into confidence with, particularly who are worried about the state of health of the former executive mayor?
Samkele, all I can say is that Comrade Mpho is not conscious at the moment. However, I can't go into details of his illness, and that's all I can say. As you can imagine, the family is distraught. I don't think anybody should ever go through what the family is going through, and the Romas once again are not making things easier for them. You have a situation where 1 minute the doctors say one thing, the next minute they say something else, and it's very difficult for the family. And I think if anything, messages of support should be directed to the family, and that will be welcome.
Mr. Maile, not to go too much into detail and not to sound insensitive, but there were murmurs going around that the family had been given 48 hours to take certain decisions. And this is not only being said by your members, but even some of the leaders of your own organization, which you also belong to, are saying that family was given a time frame, the deadline was yesterday. Why would people say these things if they're unsubstantiated?
It would be useful if you could say to me, Leader X said it, because then I could ask them where they got it from. Right now you're asking me, and I responded yesterday that it is a Roma. And the fact that a leader spreads the Roma doesn't validate the Roma. It remains a Roma. There is no such. There was no 48 hours given to the family. And like I said, if you were to say to me, leader Y said this, then I can call that leader and perhaps they can tell us where they got the information from. There is no such.
Thank you.
That's Mike Maile there.
That is Mr. Mike Maile, who is speaking on behalf of the family. As you can see, that they are the friends of Mike Maile. You can see Bruce Sarela, you can see Sasabona Mangani, as well Mzwandile Masina, Laki Keith Koza, and Mr. Mike Maile as well, whom are all close family friends and comrades of Mpho Moerane, who is currently in hospital. They are saying that his situation is still currently critical in hospital and that he is unconscious and he is unable to communicate with them at this point in time, dispelling some of the myths that have come out, particularly pertaining to the health situation of the former executive mayor of the city of Johannesburg as the region heads to its regional conference in about a week or two from now.